Hello, I'm Camila, and this is the Rugged Angel podcast. I want to thank you for coming back. I really appreciate the support. I'm having a lot of fun doing these podcasts, and I'm talking to all these great women. Actually, today is my birthday. I'm not going to tell you what number, but that is how dedicated I am to this podcast. I am on my birthday editing this episode and recording some stuff to make sure that you guys get it in a timely fashion. And what you can do, if you want to give me a birthday gift, is you can go to Facebook and give Rugged Angel Productions a like, or you can go to Twitter and give _Rugged Angel a follow. And if you wanted to delve a little deeper into the Rugged Angel world, you can go give a look-see at ruggedangel.com. This is episode 4, and it's with Miss Addi Twigg. She's a daughter of ministers, a bombshell fashionista, but most importantly, she is an amazingly talented musical powerhouse. She's currently in multiple musical projects, and I guarantee one of them will suit your tastes. We go into discussions about all of her projects, and she has an album that's coming out in either late spring or early summer that you should most definitely look out for. And you can also find out more about Addie at additwigg.com. And I forgot to do this the last episode, but I promised that I was going to start leaving you with words of wisdom. And the words of wisdom for this episode is, never stop doing your best just because someone doesn't give you credit. Now on with the show.
Did you write it or have someone write it for you or find it?
I found it on, it was like one of those royalty-free sites. Yeah.
I like it.
So, thank you. Yeah, I am not musically creative like that. All right, let us begin. Addi Twigg.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome.
Thank you.
My rugged angel for this week.
Yes.
Is one Miss Addi Twigg. How are you doing today?
Wait, I only get a week?
Yeah, that's it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I mean, there will be a certificate.
My agent told me that I got a whole month.
Well, I mean, you probably want to talk to
Okay. Well,
them because I feel like
you're fired.
They lied to you. But
all right, I guess I'll take a week. I'll take a week.
Okay,
for my birthday, I take a whole month. But for
okay,
this,
all right, yeah, that's cool.
A week is
fine. I feel that too. I've been celebrating my birthday all month, really.
Oh yeah. Wait, what day? What actual day is your birthday?
The 25th.
Well,
next
happy
week.
Early birthday.
Thank you. And for my birthday this year, I gave myself Ralph Macchio.
Oh yeah, I saw that photo. Oh, did he know you gave yourself him?
No, because I could barely talk. Like I was. That's like the one celebrity I've ever met that I was like verklempt. Like I
really.
Yeah, I was like seriously.
You met a lot of celebrities though.
Yeah, and he's the only one that I've just been like, and just like nervous and shaky. And I immediately like sent the picture to my mom because she knows, and then she called me like, you finally met him, because he was like my first crush, like when I was like 8 years old or something, or so.
Yeah, us children of the 80s, he was a big one.
Yes, but we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about you.
Yeah. Let's bring it back to
important.
Exactly.
Important topic. Well, I don't want you having to call your agent.
Yeah. And, he'll be getting a call no matter what. JK.
So how are you today? How are you doing?
Other than the asthma issues that I was telling you about, I'm great. I worked from home today because the weather is so shitty. So I was like, I'm going to stay in my pajamas.
I love that you have that option.
I also love that I have that option. And it's funny too because people are like, oh, I'd work from home all the time. I don't like to work from home all the time.
Why is that?
Because I like to see people, and I like to. This is gonna sound really dumb. I'm kind of embarrassed to admit this.
You like gossip?
No, I do. I do, but that is not what I was gonna say. What I was gonna say is I like to dress up for work. Oh, I'm such a dork.
Okay,
I'm such a dork.
No, I totally get that because my sister is also the same way. Yeah. Her job is solely satellite. And and she's like such a fashionista, and that pisses her off is that she can't like go and show off her outfits. Yeah. So yeah, I understand that.
I totally, honestly, I like putting on a cute dress and like wearing my heels.
And you always look so great too.
Oh, well, thank you.
You know how to rock the dress.
It's too bad you don't have a TV show instead of just a podcast.
We're working on that. You have to talk to Professor.
Okay, I will.
He's funding.
We'll chat. Yeah.
So let's your early years. Were you born and raised in Pittsburgh?
No. I was born in Indiana, PA.
Okay.
It's like, I guess from Pittsburgh, it's maybe like an hour or so.
Okay.
IUP. So
gotcha.
I was born in Indiana, PA. My mom was born in Pittsburgh, but my dad was raised out in the Indiana area in a tiny little town called Diamondville.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah, isn't that adorable? And it's because of the coal mines.
Oh, okay.
The Villa Diamondville, yeah.
Makes sense.
So it's a little less cute when you think of it that way.
Right.
But my brother and I both were born in Indiana at the hospital there, but we were raised pretty much all over Western Pennsylvania, like in the country, kind of. Maybe not the country, but like
you didn't
rural
have a
areas.
farm.
No, we didn't have a farm, but like because mom and dad are both pastors,
right?
They would get like reassigned or reappointed every so many years.
Huh.
So I mean, we moved around so much.
I never really thought about that.
Oh
Pastors getting reassigned and
yeah.
Moving around and stuff, especially if you have families.
The longest we lived in the same house, so we lived in 2 different houses in the same town. I still had to switch elementary schools though, which I'm still bitter about.
What grade were you in at that point?
So I spent kindergarten and first grade at one school, a school called Turkey Foot, which we lived in a town called Addison then.
Is that near
Uniontown?
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
It's like the Uniontown area.
Turkey Hill, I guess, is what I was confused
Oh,
with.
okay, yeah. No, the school was called Turkey Foot.
Okay.
And it was K through 12, yeah. But kindergarten and first grade there. 2nd through 4th grade, we moved to a town called Franklin, which is near Oil City. Not Franklin regional area, but like small town named Franklin. It's got like Apple Fest, and it's like up sort of north, like... Anyway, 2nd through 4th grade there. And then we moved to a different house in Franklin, and I spent 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th grade there. And then I got to go to a totally new school for my last 2 years of high school.
Oh.
And that was Latrobe, PA.
Huh. Yeah, that must suck.
Yeah, I will say, as much as it sucked, mom and dad did everything they could to make the transitions easier for us. So like, now I'll also say I always got the short end of the stick because the last couple of times when we moved to the new house in Franklin, my brother is 2 years older. Okay. And he was going to be going to the middle school anyway. So it changed nothing for him school-wise. I was the one who got shafted. And then the next time we moved, he had just graduated. So like he got to spend all the rest of his second career, the second half of his school career all at the same school, basically. I had to move around 2 extra times.
Oh, you poor thing.
But I'm not bitter.
No, not
it's
at all.
It's totally fine.
You have not harbored any resentment whatsoever.
No, I'm sure I seem totally fine with it.
No, yeah, you're totally cool. I can only imagine how ridiculously kind of stressful that could be for her because I mean I went to a different school in 7th and 8th grade. Yeah. But in my hometown, it's unheard of for like K through 12th grade to be all in the same.
Turkey. That's what I'm saying. Turkey Foot was really small. That's why it was K through 12. Wow. It was really. I mean, that's how small it was.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Addison. I mean, it was just tiny. So, but I will say my parents did make it as easy as possible. Like they did as much as they could to make the transition easier. So like when I changed high schools the summer ahead, they found out who the kids were at the schools that were my age or at the churches that were my age, the churches that they were going to be doing and like which one I should probably go to on Sunday because it would have more kids there. And like they arranged for me to audition for the choir over the summer so that I could do it the next year. Nice. Because they already did the auditions like the spring before, but I didn't know I was going to be going there. Right. And blah, blah, blah. So they did as much as they could. I mean, it was beyond their control, really.
Yeah, but it seemed like they put in a lot of footwork for you.
Yeah, they did. They did. So I'll say that at least.
Well, that's great. Were they in the same church, your parents?
No, they have always had separate churches. So they're both United Methodist pastors, and they've always had, at one point, when we were living in Franklin, the first house we lived in, they each had 3 churches. So really? Sunday morning, they both did 3 sermons.
Oh my God.
They each did 3 sermons. Yeah, they would drive around and my brother and I would like take this little bus to church. This bus like drove around.
So you had to go to all 3 sermons?
No. We took a bus to like the one
your mom
church.
Took you, your dad took your brother.
Yeah, no, we I think typically went to the same church if I remember. the two of us. But they had this little bus that drove around and picked up all the kids for the one church. So we just went to that one because it was easy. And I can remember there's this woman who had like a little tape recorder with a microphone, and she would like on the bus she would like do a little children's lesson, and like so we would sing songs. It was yeah. So I can't believe where that memory just came from. It just like popped into my head.
So you were like all up in the church. So like the Sunday schools and the choir and
youth group.
Camps.
Yep. Oh, summer camp. Yeah. Yep. I went to pony camp once.
What is pony camp?
It's camp where you ride ponies.
Really? That's it?
That's
okay.
what it is.
All right. Just, I mean...
But it was church camp,
okay.
so like they would have like Bible studies and like campfires, and you would literally sing Kumbaya. Like that is the thing I really did. It was not a joke in my life.
Oh my god! And so you just have your older brother, Andrew.
One older brother, 2 years older, Andrew.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you guys seem to get along smashing.
Yeah, we're very close. Yeah.
Have you always been that close? Or?
By college, I would say we were pretty tight. Yeah. I mean, we fought like siblings do growing up. We always loved each other, but like we would fight.
Yeah.
Never anything too crazy. I definitely kicked him once between the legs. I'll never forget it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
How old was he?
I want to say I was maybe middle school or early high school, and we were fighting about something, and I kicked him, and he like really doubled over and almost threw up, and it was bad.
Did you feel immediately horrible?
Yes. He probably didn't think I did, but I did.
Now, how did you make that up to him? Because that sounds like
I don't think you can.
Like I'm still making it up to him.
What do you do? Yeah, how do you make up for that? I don't know. But we're really close now. I mean, we've been close ever since college. So yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. So you are extremely musical, and musically talented. And
Thank you.
One of the things I absolutely love about you.
Thank you. The end. Bye. Thanks for having me.
And I was just wondering, like, is your entire family? Your parents?
Oh yeah,
like
yeah. All 4 of us. Like, my dad tries to blow it off like that he doesn't have any actual talent, like that he just wings it or whatever. But I think that goes back to, he said when he was in, I think like middle school or something, he had like a choir teacher tell him that he had an awful voice or something. I actually think it scarred him a little bit, but he totally can sing. I don't know why he thinks that he can't, but he can sing. He plays piano. My dad. Really? Yeah. And then my mom has a beautiful voice. She is a little more of a soprano than I am. She can sing alto like I do, but she has this gorgeous high range.
Oh, wow.
And she has an ear for harmony. I think that's where I get my ear for harmony. And she also plays guitar. So, and then my brother sings. He was a little more on the classical side, a little more like choral singing. Yeah, he's not as much of a pop singer as I am. Okay. He can sing pop, right? But he's a little bit more traditional kind of choral singing than I have been. Yeah.
I just have this vision of like when you guys get together, like there's like big old, there's like sing-alongs and like, mom and dad are on the instruments, and it's just... I mean, it's in a cheesy way, but still, it's really nice and it's heartwarming.
Yeah. No, I it's funny. We used to sing like the 4 of us would do. I know there was like a quartet that they would have us do, the 4 of us at church or whatever. And like, so we have done stuff like that, but not a whole lot. And it's not like we go home and we do that together. Like, and I think part of that, and this is kind of sad, but like part of that is because my brother and I aren't religious anymore.
Okay.
So like, mom and dad, obviously they, religious music really, I mean, they listen to the Beatles, and like my dad loves the Supremes, Diana Ross and that kind of thing. But like, for them, it's more religious music. So if we were going to sing together, it would probably be religious stuff. And my brother and I aren't really.
Gotcha.
It's kind of, I don't know, I guess sad if you look at it a certain way, but
I mean, not so much, but I like the fact that your parents that you guys still have such a great relationship, even though you decided to separate, that you think differently in a religious
we
manner. Really
do. And we I've had conversations with them a couple of times about it, and my mom probably more so. But it's not, I mean, I don't tend to try to bring it up because they're not going to change my mind. Right. I'm not going to change theirs. It's just going to make us feel stressed out. It's just going to make us feel like, just going to cause tension. Right. So I don't tend to go home and bring up like, hey, here's a thing that I believe that you think is awful. Like, I
Right.
don't, or I think that this belief of yours is cockamamie. I don't, there's no reason to do that. Like, I love my parents, and
You have more than enough good things
yeah,
to talk about.
we have plenty else to talk
Right.
about without having to argue over things like that. So some, things do come up sometimes, but we're not always going to agree, but we love each other, so I do. The older that I get, obviously, I mean, I'm 35 now, and the more that the older I get, the more that I do appreciate my parents, and like I try to spend time with them, and they're retired now, so we can go over and play games and hang out and whatever. Yeah. So I'm definitely closer with them now than I probably have been.
Yeah, I think
Definitely more than I was in college.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that just happens as we get older and ourselves, we start to
I
realize.
totally agree.
And especially when we start to realize, my mom was right. Like, my parents were right. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, maybe I should have been listening a little bit closer. And, and then you start to see more of them in yourself.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
Like, I've been noticing so many things about, I was like, oh my God, like things will come out of my mouth. I'm like, that was my mom.
Oh, yeah. For me, it's my mom too, more than my dad. Like, and I don't know if that's specifically like a female thing where we tend to pick up those kind of cues more from our mothers, but I feel that too. I'll do or say something and I'll just be like, oh my gosh, that's my mom. Like, especially when I talk to Joe. Yeah. Like, I'll say something to him. I'm like, oh, that was so like naggy, motherly, like, ugh. And I like,
it's like,
wash my mouth out with
sorry.
soap.
I'm
I know.
So sorry. I didn't. Oh, I apologize.
I know. Not that my mom. Like, I love my mom, but like, you know what I mean.
But yeah, like it's and then you instantly kind of get that same feeling in the back of like when you were hearing it to yourself.
You roll your eyes at yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, you say stuff like that to you don't need to tell your husband to put on a coat. He knows to put on, he's a grown man. Right. He knows when he needs a coat and when he doesn't, but there it is coming out of your mouth. Honey, don't forget to, okay, shut up. Where does that come from? Yeah. Why do we?
My biggest thing is like, I nag Dan, and it drives me crazy to watch the way he folds his own clothes. And it's like, it's his clothes. Yeah. And it's like, it has nothing to do with me. Yeah. It should have absolutely, it's not my business.
It doesn't change your life at all.
Exactly. I'm just sitting there watching. I'm just like, oh, God. Oh, okay. So you're just going to kind of roll those. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I am totally with you there. Like, that's probably the biggest way that I see my mom. Another thing that I do that my mom used to do that I always was like, ugh, I hate this, is listen to talk radio, like blast it in the car, specifically like driving around with talk radio on blast. And now I do that with NPR. I'm just driving around and NPR is just like blasting in my car. It just makes me feel so old.
That'll do it. That'll be
every time I'm like, I'm an old woman now.
Like, but it's okay.
This is my life.
It's like, I feel like I've accepted it. I think I'm all right with it.
I'm like, I better hurry up and blast some Beyonce from this car because I'm gonna lose my cred.
Right? You have a reputation to uphold.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Camilla Road.
Oh yeah. So my friend Lauren Zurchin and I, we met in college, and she also sings and she plays guitar. And so we did a couple of songs together. I want to say for like an event, we did these songs together, and we were like, oh, we actually sound really good together. Mm-hmm. So ever since then, on and off, because she hasn't lived in Pittsburgh the whole time since then. And
oh, really?
15 plus years ago. But like, she moved back to Pittsburgh several years ago, and so we started doing music together again. And there's this annual event called Swan Day that Support Women Artists Now, which you participated in as well.
Yes.
And put on by the No Name Players. Love Don and Tressa. And
yes, they are amazing.
They're the best. And they put on this event every year to showcase women artists. And they, Lauren and I were playing for the show, and we were like, well, we should give ourselves a name. We should give a name to this project.
Right. And
I live on 53rd Street, but the road that is perpendicular is Camellia Street.
That's Camellia.
But we were like, well, let's call it, Camelia. Mm-hmm. And my brother was like, well, because we were like, what do we call ourselves? And he was like, well, what's the name of that street that connects to 53rd? I was like, oh, Camellia Road. That could work. Like, yeah, that's not a bad idea. So it just kind of stuck. And I guess Camellia spelled with 2 L's is a flower. But
Right.
the street, my
Yes.
street name just has one L, so that might be kind of weird, but whatever.
So it is Camellia Road, your band.
Yes,
Okay.
Camellia Road is the duo that I have with Lauren.
Okay.
Yeah, so ever since then, really most of what we do is the Swan Day annually. But we occasionally play other events and stuff. We don't play out a lot, but occasionally, and then we do Swan every year.
So that was reminding me that first. When did you come to Pittsburgh?
I moved to Pittsburgh. I guess it would be like 12 plus years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I moved here after college because I wanted to be closer to my friends. Like they all lived kind of like close to the city.
Where'd you go to school? College?
Allegheny College.
Okay.
So I moved back home after school and in Latrobe, and I was like far away from like all my friends that I wanted to hang out with. So I was like, oh, I got to get a job so that I can move to Pittsburgh. Got a nannying job.
Oh.
And that was going to pay me enough to actually move to the city. I see that look on your face, and you know I don't want kids. I know that's why you're making that face. I worked with kids all through college, and that was even though I knew I didn't want my own.
Okay, I was gonna say, did this help? Like,
no, well, it did help.
Like bring you to that conclusion.
No, I've known for a long time that I didn't want kids.
Okay.
But I like kids. I like working with kids as long as I can go home at the end of the day. If you know what I mean. Right. So like, cause like, I don't know. I'm kind of an immature person, so like kids are fun. Like when you can have fun with them. So
okay, well, yeah, all right. Let's talk if you don't mind. I've just kind of been wondering, like, what brought you to that conclusion about the fact that you don't want children? I mean, it's not like, I'm totally not judging you.
And I know you're not. I know you're not.
Respect you for, being an adult enough and self-aware enough to know that that's not the route you want to go.
I don't remember the moment that I quote unquote decided. I just know that, I can remember a time way back when, probably like high school or something, or middle school, where it was like, someday I'm going to have twins. I'm going to dress them really cute. And I'm going to give them cute names and blah, blah, blah.
Did you just see The
Shining?
Shining?
But that wasn't... No, because those twins aren't cute. They're horrifying. But like, I don't know, back then it wasn't like I really was like, I wanted twins. I just was like, it was like a novelty. Like,
gotcha.
Oh, twins and all, whatever.
Yeah.
And I guess when I started to really think about it, I just kind of was like, I don't know if I really want kids, like, because I like my time being mine. And I like that I don't, like, I guess part of it is that, like, I don't want to have to make decisions for another person. Gotcha. Like, yeah. I feel like that is
except for Joe,
such a huge Joe. I make all of Joe's decisions. Yeah.
Obviously.
As his wife, it is my duty to make every decision for him. But like, I guess I just don't like, I don't want to, it's just such a huge responsibility. Yeah. And I guess to me, the way I see it, after thinking about it a lot, and, now that I'm 35 and I kind of look back, I'm like, I feel like the default culturally, societally, is like, okay, go to college, get a job, get married, buy a house, have kids, blah, 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 lather, rinse, repeat, whatever.
Right.
And, I guess to me, I'm kind of like, that seems dangerous to me, that the default is that you're expected to have children. Right. Because that's a huge responsibility.
Oh, exactly.
Like, to me, the question shouldn't be, why don't you want kids? It should be, why do you want kids?
No, yeah.
Because, like, it changes your whole life, and it's this huge responsibility. And like, I guess I just feel like so many people are kind of just coasting through life and like, oh, okay, well, we're having a baby now, I guess. Like, okay, well, do you want to have a kid? Like, why are you bringing a child into the world? Is it something that you long for? Is it, and it's funny because a big thing that child-free people hear a lot is like how selfish they are. You're so selfish for not wanting kids. Right. Like, but I guess ask yourself why you had children or why you want to have children, and name a reason that's not selfish.
Right. No, it's
like, I'm not preaching to you. Right. I know you're not judging me at all.
No, I mean, I totally get it. That I feel like, having children or wanting children is kind of a way, like, selfish.
Yeah.
And a way of speaking, just for the simple fact of you want, for me personally, I do want children.
Right.
And I've come to the decision that I am not going to carry children. We've come to the decision that we want to adopt.
That's amazing.
And
I think that's amazing.
Thank
That
you.
to me is selfless. See, that to me is, instead of being like, well, you know, like that is incredible to me. And if I did want kids, I would want to be someone who is looking to adopt, because
Right.
I think that's incredible.
Because I feel like, because that thought that came to me, I was like, okay, I do want children, but why would it be more important for me to carry the child
Right.
as opposed to finding one that's already
Right.
out there needing of a home?
Right.
And it was a selfish reason.
Yeah.
Would be like, I'm just curious to see what my spawn would
Right.
look like.
Or
would
like,
be like.
you know, you love Dan so much that
Right.
you want to make this life with him. And I get that.
Right.
But let's not pretend it's not selfish.
Right.
It is.
Exactly.
It's like the definition. Like,
Right.
you want a part of yourself to mix with this part of Dan and make a
Exactly.
person. Like, I get it, but it is selfish. Like, I feel like people don't acknowledge that. And it would be different if the world were underpopulated.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, there are so many people in this world, and beyond that, there are so many kids in this world who need families. And I think that's the first time I've heard you talk about that. And I think that's amazing and admirable. And
Thank you.
I just think that's an incredible thing. And I love that. And actually, one of the, I have like a select number of charities that I donate to. And one of them is the children's home.
Oh, okay.
Specifically like the adoption.
Yeah.
Like that's something that I think is important, you know, because I think that like wanting to spawn your own child
Yeah.
is selfish. And I don't mean like everyone I know is super selfish for having
No.
a baby. I'm just saying, like, let's acknowledge that
Right.
you wanted a baby. You wanted to make a baby. Like, stop calling me selfish
Exactly.
without, you know, turning that on yourself and acknowledging. And that's okay. It's okay to be selfish.
It is. And it's also kind of in a way, I don't even really see it. It's not even you being selfish, not wanting to have children or knowing that you don't want children. You knowing that and adhering to that.
Right.
That's a bit selfish because you're not bringing a child into this
Yeah.
world and then like, I don't know. I'm like,
Caving to the pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
And then being a shitty mother. Because
Exactly. Right.
exactly.
so
Yeah. No, I know myself well enough to know that I wouldn't want to get up in the middle of the night to cater to a screaming baby. I just wouldn't.
Exactly.
It's not something, you know, I just don't, not to say that I don't have any motherly instincts. Like, I'm sure I could take care of a child, but I know that I would just hate it. I just
Right.
know
There would
that
be
I would
resentment.
fucking hate it.
and that's no good to be
Yeah.
and that in itself is selfless to know that you are not going
Right.
to raise somebody up in
Right.
a destructive household or
Right.
just
It's just a matter of perspective,
Yeah.
you know, like, I think, you know, there are people out there who maybe accidentally get pregnant and like that happens, you know, but some people you know, like look at the Duggars. Look how many children they
God.
brought into this world. I say what you will. I think that's really selfish.
I think that's crazy.
I think it's
absolutely
outrageous. I think,
unnecessary.
you know, look at all those children out there who, you know, are in foster homes or whatever. And like, but don't even get me started on them.
Oh yeah, I don't think I even knew about them till like a couple months ago. Somebody pointed them out to me. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with these people? And
People
then
talk
they
about
just-
how they're like this loving family or whatever. Really, they're putting their children on television and exploiting them.
right, and then it's like from what I understand, they're having more babies, and their children are the ones that are taking care
Yeah.
of these babies that and it's just.
Yeah. And Michelle Duggar, you know, has put her life in jeopardy by continuing to have
Right.
kids, like against doctors' advice. I feel like it's misled.
Yeah.
I feel like it's.
Most definitely. All right, so wow.
Anyway.
So we got really serious for a second there. So let's talk about music.
Yes,
Let's
back
talk
to
about
music.
One of the like mini bazillion like. All right, did you make like a conscious effort to be in so many bands and performing acts?
You know, I didn't. It's funny. Like so there's Camellia Road, and then I have
Telephone Line.
Telephone Line, yes. Telephone Line is my biggest baby right now. It is like a soul rock. It's a band. I mean, it's a full rock band. And there are 5 of us. It is kind of hard to describe our music, though. Like, it's sort of got soul rock. There's a little bit of pop in there.
It's all
I don't
original?
know. Yeah, all original, yeah. But we actually just finished our studio time.
Ooh.
Yeah, we were working with Wilderness Recording Studio. Jay Vega he's a delight. I adore him. And so things are being mixed and edited right now.
That's awesome. How many tracks do you
But
have?
we have 11 songs.
Oh my goodness, this is your full album.
It is a full album, yeah.
Oh, this is exciting.
It's really exciting. I feel like I talk so much about music and I do so much music that this just sort of gets added to the pile, and people don't understand like how much more important this is to me. Not to say that I don't love Bait and Switch and I don't love Camellia Road and I don't love, all these other musical projects that I do, but this is big for me because it's a band. It's actually like a rock band, which, I've only been in a couple of those, and it's all original. So that's different for me because a lot of what I've done before mostly is covers.
Okay.
And, we wrote all this stuff ourselves, and, we actually did like a real studio recording. That's so great. This is huge to me. And you might have even seen, I posted recently on Instagram and Facebook that, Joe and I eloped, so we didn't have a wedding shower.
Right. Yes, I
We're not having kids, so I didn't have a baby shower. So I really want an album shower.
That is the greatest idea.
I
think you should really do that.
I seriously want to.
You have to.
I want everybody I know to buy my fucking album.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
That's what
I want. I want an album shower.
That's what you do.
Like I have attended baby showers and wedding showers and weddings and purchased gifts for my loved ones, and I'm happy to do it, and I would happily do it again. Now it's my turn.
Right, exactly.
Buy my album.
Exactly.
That's what I want. And like,
what is it, like
I don't know,
$13.99?
it's gonna be like $10.
Okay,
I mean, come on.
You can definitely
I
ask
spent
that.
$50 on your wedding. You can buy my album for $10. And here's the thing, me buying you a wedding gift, you're getting the gift. But if you buy my album, you get my album.
Exactly.
So you're giving me the money, but you're getting the album.
It's like really, you're buying yourself a gift.
Thank you.
Is what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I fully support.
I
album
seriously
shower.
think I'm gonna do it.
You have to. When are we looking for it to drop?
We're not sure yet because our bassist and our drummer are also a married couple, and they're gonna have a baby next month.
Oh wow!
So she can't play shows right now.
Oh my god! Yeah.
So and I just spent all that time talking about how people having babies are selfish. Sorry, guys. I love you. I'm such an asshole, but they're really excited. It's super cute. But they're going to have a baby next month, and then they're going to have to recover from that and, get back into their routine. Right. Have this new person in their lives. So it's probably going to be like late spring or summer when we do the actual release or have like a release party. We might be able to release the album before then, but the actual like release party won't come along until like late spring or summer. But the shower, I'll probably do the quote unquote shower as soon as the album comes out. I don't think I'm going to have a party. I'll just like the release party will be like the quote unquote album shower. Okay, gotcha. But I'm thinking I'll do like a Facebook event where I say like, this is my baby.
This will be right. It'll
buy
be
my
like
album.
like
show me your support. Like this is going to sound really corny, but. I can't believe you're going to have a soundbite of me saying this. But since Joe and I aren't having kids, like this is something that we're creating together. This is our baby. Like,
okay, so Joe is...
Oh, yeah. Joe's in the band. He plays guitar and he plays organ.
Okay, yeah. This is definitely
so like... I don't know. It's important to us, it's
and I can
something
see it
that
in
we
your
put
face,
our hearts
like
into.
Your whole like your body and like everything is just like.
And how do you I don't know, how do you say that to people without seeming like greedy? Like, you guys, buy my album. Like, I don't know. I just, this is different to me. This is something new to me that I've never really done before. So, I'm just excited about it. And I hope, my wish is that people will buy the album and that they'll like it.
I think that.
Like,
I think that's a given.
I mean,
think it's gonna happen.
If you like my voice, you'll at least like that.
Right.
Even if you don't like the music, you'll at least like my voice. And you'll know that you have supported me as an artist. People always say to me like, oh, I want to come out to see you or whatever. Like, well, put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
Now's the time.
No, like, I know I suck at coming out to your shows.
No, you have come to see me before.
I have. But like, I've been wanting to come see the telephone line, and I just like suck at that. But I will most definitely purchase that album. I'm going to buy the hell out of that album.
I know you will. I believe you. That's awesome. But like, I mean, it's not like we played like a ton of shows in the last year. We've only been together for a year or maybe year and a half, 2 years. It's not like we've been together for ages. So.
Oh wow! Well, you guys are like really
we're young.
Fast.
Yeah, the band is pretty young. I guess maybe 2 years now, but like. not quite. But like, it's not like we had a ton of shows this past year,
Right.
so you'll get more chances to come see us. So, like,
especially as soon as the weather breaks.
yeah, if you can make it to the release, I mean, that will be probably the most quote unquote most important show
Hells
to
yeah.
come to. So
I want to be there to rock.
but
rock
I know
your baby.
you're supportive.
Rock
I
your
know.
baby.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I'll have to use
taglines.
that.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll have to use that for sure. But you are supportive. I know, like, you're not someone who I think of and go like, oh, she's all talk. Like, I know you're a supportive person.
Well, good. I'm glad.
I mean, you support music for a living, for crying out.
Yeah, that's my thing. Then okay, so Photo Joe and the Negatives.
Photo Joe and the Negatives, who you've seen,
Yes.
albeit in like a crazy, smoky, crowded venue
Yes.
where things were running late and.
But I was there. and I
Yeah.
seen it.
Oh my gosh.
And it
things
was
were
fun.
Crazy.
Like I very much
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Good. I'm glad. It's Photo Joe and the Negatives is rock and roll punk oldies cover band. So unlike anything that I had ever seen in the city, at least, really we're just a spectacle. I mean, I love singing with the Negatives because I can just let her rip.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, with the telephone line, I'm very calculated and I'm a perfectionist
Okay.
when it comes to my vocals. Like, I want to be on.
Mm-hmm.
And with Photo Joe and the Negatives, I still want to sound good, but I
Right.
can just really let it rip.
It's just
like,
a lot more letting loose.
loosey goosey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just fun. It's fun.
Yeah, you can definitely see that you're having such a
Yeah.
good time up there on
I
stage.
mean, we really are just a spectacle. It's a fun show.
And at Bait and Switch, are you
Bait and
guys
Switch.
still doing
Yeah,
stuff?
Bait and Switch is still around. Sean, it's kind of crazy because Sean has a baby girl now.
Oh, really?
She's so cute. Oh my gosh. I also called him selfish. Sorry, guys. But Lena is really, really cute. But I wasn't sure once they had a baby, he and Katie, I wasn't sure if he would really have the time
Right.
to do Bait and Switch anymore, you know. But he really has made an effort, and we played a show at Arcade with like a sort of super group that we have with another group that Bait and Switch plays with. It's called Burger Time. So we
Interesting.
played at Arcade Comedy for their anniversary show, and it was fun. But Bait and Switch we're still doing maybe a couple times a year. So, and that satisfies that need for me, I think.
Yeah. And is it are you guys at like Arcade Comedy? Mostly?
I can't tell you the last time we played somewhere other than Arcade.
Right.
Yeah, it's sort of become our home. I think it's safe to say. I mean, it's just really the default now for
Yeah.
comedy in this city,
Yeah,
at least for the
exactly.
crowd that I run with. Like,
And I'm
there are a couple different venues.
I'm so
but-
proud of them for
Oh my gosh.
what they've done. And this is what, 2 years
This
maybe?
is their second anniversary. That
Okay.
place has grown so much.
Yeah.
It's really incredible. Like, all different kinds of stand-up, improv, sketch, music. I mean, you know, cabaret style stuff. You know, like people who do like magic and stupid tricks and like just everything, any kind of comedy that you can imagine, and
Yeah.
they would accommodate it.
That's awesome.
It's so great. I mean, it's just so nurturing, and what it does for the community, like, it's just, I don't know. It's just, it's so great.
No, it's nice because it's
awesome.
also such a nice. It's not a giant space.
No,
but
it's really not. It's very
but
intimate.
but it's a great size for what they're doing and
Yeah.
everything that they're doing. And it just makes things feel
Yeah.
just that less pressured, or
Yeah.
it's just a little more nurturing.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. They would love to have a bigger space, and they could use it. I mean, they could fill a bigger space.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But for now, I mean, it's definitely working. They're working with what they've got. So, yeah, congratulations to them.
Yes, way
Happy
to go,
anniversary.
guys. This is who's this? Mike, Abby,
Mike and Abby, Jethro and Christy, and Randy from over at CLO Cabaret.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the five of them founded it together, and and the Cultural Trust. It's like supported by the Cultural Trust, but they're an official 501(c)(3).
Oh,
I mean,
really?
so you can
wow.
donate today.
Awesome. And sort of speaking of Swan Day, I know you are participating this year
Yes.
again.
Are you?
Yes, I
Yeah.
am. And actually, these podcasts are going to be part of my.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I was gonna say, are you doing another video, or what's your
yeah, video
presentation this year?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
going to be video. Although I was kind of wavering back and forth, I thought about it too late to say, hey, maybe I want to do photography instead of a video. But we'll go with this and see.
Video is a
what
little
happens.
more high maintenance, like it's a little
and I don't know.
more energy.
Yeah, it's a lot, but I think I just feel like for what I have planned, I don't really have to go out and find any footage. Like anything. It's just going to be a lot of editing for me
Oh.
and putting like stringing stuff together. The story that I tell.
Man, your video last year, it was last year, right?
Yeah, it was last
Oh, it
year.
was so good.
Thank you.
It feels longer ago. Doesn't
I
it
know
feel
it feels like forever
yeah,
ago.
I feel like that was at least 2 years ago.
I know.
but
Yeah, it
wow.
was just last year. And,
Yeah. Oh, so good, Camila.
thank
It
you.
was
And
really...
I'm surprised. I'm continually surprised by how many people thought it was good.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
like, and I
Don't you hate that? Where you're like, you feel good about it, but then you're like, other people actually like this? What? I thought I would be the... How? What?
it's like ridiculous because it's like
That's
there's like
such a funny feeling.
700 views on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I was like,
because it's
like,
good
what?
shit. Yeah.
Say what? It's like I know my mom loves it, but
Your mom watched it 699 times.
thanks, Mom. Getting out those numbers, getting the numbers out.
And the one other view was your husband. Thanks, guys.
It's all about the numbers. That's what we care about.
So good though.
So it's you and Lauren again?
Yeah,
or?
Camellia Road. Yeah,
'Cause I know
and it's crazy. Like, so this is our I guess 6th year doing it together.
Oh wow.
And I'm pretty sure that all of the original stuff we've written has been for Swan Day.
Really?
Yes. So I credit Swan Day pretty much with
Because
all of my writing.
well, yeah, and you guys will be able to drop a Swan Day album.
Yeah. Yep. Swan Day compilation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are
sure.
you performing? Because I know was it last year that you guys performed with Bridget Purdue?
Yeah, Bridget. Oh, I love her.
She's going to be a guest on the
She's
show.
Oh, good. I look. She is a delight. We love hanging out with her.
Yeah.
First of all, she's stupid talented.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, she is hilarious.
Is she?
Oh my gosh, she's so funny.
Like unfortunately, like we're friends on Facebook, but I've never really had a conversation with her. Like I've seen
so
her
you've never
perform.
actually like met her and like
No,
interacted.
like I've seen her
You're-
perform.
Oh my gosh,
but that's it.
She's a delight. I kind of wish that I could be here just in the corner watching when she because she's so like she's silly like we are.
Oh, I
like,
love it.
I love her so much.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Yeah, she is such a talented writer and performer, and like she's like a happy person.
Yeah.
And like I just adore her. Yeah, we played with her last year as well as Anquanique. I can't remember her last name, but
Winfield, I wanna
yeah,
say?
something like that. Also
Sorry,
a very talented
Anquanique.
performer. Yeah. Also very talented. And then Lauren and I, our friend Maria came down and she like played the drums with us and
Okay.
she did another song for the show. But yeah, what a talented group of ladies,
Oh, yeah.
honestly. It was really fun and we had a group dancing with us too. But I mean, we have been able to collaborate with so many crazy good artists because of
It's
Swan.
Such a great, like, invigorating. I
Yeah.
just love all the energy that's going through that place. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that I've been able to participate for the.
Yeah.
I think this will be the 3rd year that I've actually participated.
Yeah.
With it, and I'm proud to be a Swan Day
Yeah.
artist.
Yeah.
it's such a good feeling just to see
Yeah.
all these women doing all these amazing creative.
Yeah. Yeah.
things.
And I mean, some of the things, sometimes it gets a little bit like, I don't want to say trite, but sometimes it gets a little bit like cliche, kind of like, oh, women artists. But like, honestly, there's just something about it. And we've made so many great connections with other artists. And like, it's just really, it's a wonderful event. We look forward to it every year.
Yes, actually, Tressa is also going to be a guest.
Oh, I love her.
Me too, as well.
Yeah.
Trying to
She's
get
great.
the Swan Day word out.
Yeah, she's great.
All right, so I think. Oh, actually, I just wanted to point out that I do admire. Like I said, I admire you, your vocals, and the fact that you can play instruments, the fact that you can harmonize, and like you have such a great voice, and also your karaoke. As always.
Did you see my post about Rick Seaback? This
Yeah,
week?
what was that about?
I just have to brag about that for a
Yeah,
second.
what was that?
So he's friends with a lot of the folks at Arcade, and he
Mm.
performs there sometimes. So he was there for the 10 o'clock show that I did on Friday. He saw Burger Time, and he complimented me after the show, and he was such a doll about it. And then he came back Saturday. He was there for their karaoke like private after party for the
Okay.
performers, and I did "Oh Darlin'" by the Beatles.
Gotcha.
And sorry guys, but I fucking wail on that song. I just have to brag for a second because
Go ahead,
like
toot it.
once in a while
Toot your
you
horn.
just know you're good at something. Sorry, but I kill that song. The Beatles have nothing on me when it comes to singing that. And afterward, I talked with him, and he said you were stupendous. And I was just like, my little Pittsburgh heart grew 7 sizes, and he just was like, he was like, I think everything was distorted except you. I was like, oh my gosh, I love you. I just wanted to hug him. He's so and he like posted a picture of me on Facebook, and
you guys are besties now.
We're BFFs. Yeah, I'll call you later, Rick.
Nice, Ricky,
yeah. Ricky baby. Yeah. But he is just like the most lovely man.
He's such a sweetheart.
He really is, and he's fun, and like he's not judgy about anybody. Like he's
always just so happy and smiling, and just
like,
in the moment, and just like, I'm loving life.
Yeah,
and it's
everything, all the time.
Yeah.
But I just had to brag about that because I feel like that's a proud Pittsburgh moment for me.
Yeah, most definitely. Rick Seaback, when he takes notice, that's all right. So what we're going to do is take a little break,
yes,
and then we're going to come back to our top 5.
Yes, I'm ready. I made notes.
Sweet. Did you know that the Rugged Angel podcast is part of a network of podcasts? Down to Watch is a husband and wife team that chats about music, movies, and TV shows, but has a soft spot for one-season wonders and cult classics. The Scandalized podcast is a group of friends who gather together to get their feelings out after each episode of the Shonda Rhimes hit Scandal. All 3 are Rugged Angel productions and can be found on soundcloud.com/ruggedangel and at ruggedangel.com. You can follow Down to Watch on Twitter at DTW Podcast, or like Down to Watch Podcast on Facebook, and you can like the Scandalized Podcast on Facebook as well. All right, we are back.
Yeah.
And now we are going to get into top 5 female vocalists.
Yes.
That is what I assigned you, correct?
Yeah, it is.
This was extremely difficult for me.
You know, it was fairly easy for me. But I'm interested to hear your selections. So we'll see if any of ours overlap.
Okay.
I feel like maybe 1 or 2 of ours will overlap.
Probably.
But
And I also, like, I guess, like I said, it was just very hard for me to kind of put it, because it was like vocalists, when you can really sing, or do I like performers,
right?
Or it's just like,
because they're very different things.
Right, exactly. And
Yeah.
so I kind of just went with whoever's voice makes me feel something.
Yes, that's what I did too. Is I focused on the vocals.
All right,
Yep.
so let's hear it.
Okay, so Patsy Cline.
Oh yeah.
And I also wrote down some notes just on like what it is I loved so much about them. With Patsy Cline, I feel like, and she's one of my dad's favorites too.
Oh,
so
really?
like he grew up listening to her, so he would play her, and like I grew up listening to her as well. And she just has this longing in her voice, and this like, no one can portray heartbreak like she does.
Right.
No one can convey that vocally like Patsy Cline. I don't think. I mean, there's just something about the quality of her voice.
No, I agree.
Like she just puts it all out there, and it's
Yeah.
just like, heartbreak or longing. I mean, if you're sad, put on some Patsy.
Yep. And the
She'll
tears
do
will
it.
flow, and you'll let it out. You'll
Yep.
purge.
Yep. Are we alternating, or am I just going?
Just go,
Okay.
because I also
Okay.
had like some honorable mentions.
Okay. Oh yeah, I thought about that too. I'll tell you once I get to the end of my list.
Okay.
Brandy Carlisle.
Oh,
Are you
okay.
familiar with her?
I am not really familiar, but I know
Yeah.
who she is.
She's a current performer. Most of the people on my list are older.
Okay.
But she's a current performer, and she's probably my favorite performer right now. She has a song called "The Story" that you might know. It was on like Grey's Anatomy or something. And
Okay.
you probably have heard
know
her
it to hear
songs.
it.
Yeah, like commercially you maybe have heard her,
Gotcha.
but man, she's very vulnerable and raw.
Okay.
And she actually, I heard an interview with her, I think on YEP when she was in town once, and she was talking about how really she doesn't sing properly. So like there's some singing on her albums that like is very raw and very like you kind of listen to it and go like, oh, okay, well, her voice cracks or whatever.
Huh.
And I just love that about her. She just like goes for it. You know?
Yeah. Sometimes I do really appreciate that.
Yeah, like there's something about it. But she's incredible, and if you her last album, she has another one coming out soon, but her last album was called Bear Creek.
Mm-hmm.
Do I always do that? Is it River Creek or Bear Creek? I think
Bear Creek.
I think it's
sounds
Bear
right.
Creek. Yeah. I always do that in my head for some reason. But oh man, is it good? And she has two of her bandmates are twins. They're twin brothers.
Oh, really?
And the three of them are just incredible, just mind blowing.
I'll have to listen
it's
to some
really
more.
good. It's really good shit. Aretha. I mean, come on. This is one that I assume we might overlap.
She was like, she didn't make it all the way. I was
okay.
like, it was tug of war. I was just
No,
like,
that's okay. I respect that. I do. I love Aretha because, I mean, obviously she's talented. I mean, that goes without saying.
Right.
She's soulful.
Yes.
But I think part of what I love about her is she's unapologetic.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't just mean her attitude. I mean vocally.
Yeah.
She just is like, yeah, I just, she's, oh, it's just incredible. Like just listening to her. And there's a documentary on Netflix called Muscle Shoals. And it's about the recording studios. That's the name of a town, I guess. And it's about like the recording studios that like popped up there like back in the day. And it talks about Aretha and how she like came in to the studio and like just hearing her stuff just like flow out of her like it was nothing. It's really good. I highly recommend it.
Speaking of like documentaries, did you see 20 Feet from
I
Stardom?
didn't. You know why? Because my husband watched it without me.
Oh, did he?
And I got so mad at him. So now I want to watch it, but I don't want to watch it by myself because, come on, I'm sure it's going to be amazing and I don't want to like pause and talk about it.
Well,
he said he'd watch it with me again.
Okay, well, that's good. If he doesn't, I'll watch it.
Okay.
Because I really
will watch
it.
it, buddy.
I liked it.
I'm sure I'll love it.
Yeah.
I just, it's on my list. Whitney. Did she make your list?
Yeah.
Okay. We at least got one. Whitney, I can't think of anyone with a smoother voice than Whitney. I mean, it's just so pure.
Yeah.
She has this purity vocally. Like I can't even, how does she do that? I don't.
It's weird because it's like when I was thinking about Whitney, I was like, I would listen to Whitney sing anything.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't like the words don't even matter to me because she has so much emotion.
Yeah.
And what she's and like you said, like there's a purity in her
pure
voice, and it's just so like pristine.
Yeah.
And I don't.
So precise, so pristine,
Yeah.
so pure. I mean, it's like a blanket of snow that hasn't been touched.
That's a good one.
That is how I think of her voice, honestly. Just perfection. And then this one might surprise you, Lauryn Hill.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I feel like vocally, I don't want to say she's underrated,
Right.
but I feel like I feel like people know she's a good singer,
Right.
but I feel like that might be overshadowed by her persona and her I don't know. Like I feel like she has her voice can do acrobatics. Like she has this crazy control and this is gonna sound corny, but from the movie with Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, Sister Act.
Sister Act 2.
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
In Sister Act 2, she does this beautiful version of His Eyes on the Sparrow.
Oh my God, yeah.
And it's like
see,
mind blowing.
getting chills
I just
right
got
now.
chills just talking about
my
it.
God, yeah.
And like I know that's corny and that's like a weird reference to make, but if you have ever listened to that,
No, I've totally
it's
forgot
just
about that.
outrageous. It's
Yeah.
so good. And like if you listen to I think it's the last track on Miseducation, just listening to her vocal and like just the little like ad libs that she does and like just the control that she has. I don't want to say underrated. I don't think she's underrated,
No.
but I'm not sure people really appreciate her vocals.
Right. It's more like not really. I guess we just don't really like you said.
Yeah,
we're
like
just not
she has a great voice, but
Right,
like have
but-
you really listened to what she does with it?
Right.
Yeah.
Her voice is definitely an instrument. and
Yes.
she's doing it well.
That's a great way to say that.
All right. So did you have any honorable mentions that
You
wanted
know,
to throw out
my
there?
honorable mention is actually a man.
No.
Honorable mention.
I love the puns.
And it's Freddie Mercury.
Oh, really?
And he and Patsy are probably my two biggest vocal influences.
Oh, wow.
So I had to at least mention
Yeah.
him because he's such a big influence for me. But like just this incredible soaring, like
Yeah.
and versatile.
Yeah.
His voice could do anything. I mean, he could
was
sing any kind of
absolutely amazing.
music, and just Freddie,
Yeah.
man.
Good God. All right.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Hit me.
Whitney.
Yeah.
Mahalia Jackson, gospel singer.
Okay.
From
I know the
old
name.
school, just old,
Yeah.
like probably 50s,
Okay.
40s maybe. And God, talk about like just reaching in to your chest and just like pulling your heart out. This woman, just like the one example that always throws into me, that I always think of when I think when I think of Mahalia, and she will just like, God, just make you just cry. Like I'm kind of getting a little just thinking about, because there's like this movie called Imitation of Life.
Okay.
And the movie's basically about like a relationship between mothers and daughters, and like there's a black mother and daughter and a white mother and daughter. The black mother, her daughter is light skinned, and she's been trying to pass all her life as white, and she's been fighting her mother and everything about, you know, I don't belong
Like
with
identity,
you. Yeah, and she's like, you know what, I'm you know, you're not my mother, I'm done. And then, spoiler alert, this movie's like from 1952. Her mom dies.
Oh, okay.
And she comes running home, and that's when she starts claiming, that's my mother, that's my
Yeah.
mother. And then Mahalia Jackson is singing at this woman's funeral, and it's like this troubles.
Is it a
like,
gospel
yeah,
song?
It's a
Is it like a
gospel.
hymn,
Yeah,
or
it's
is
a
it-
gospel hymn. And it's like, troubles, oh Lord, I'm coming home to live with my Lord. And it's just like, God. And then you're like, that with the emotion of like, what's happening and everything. It's just like, I was like, it's like, oh, the cheers. But yeah, like Mahalia Jackson is someone, and that's like my grandmother would listen to her a lot too. So I would like,
So there's like a sentimental
yeah,
tie there.
exactly.
Yep. Yeah.
Anita Baker.
Oh yeah.
And Fairy Tales is like my favorite Anita Baker song, and
Okay.
it's another one. I just love her soul, and I like what the things that she does with her voice as well. And it's not really, it's just a little deeper, a little. It's not. Was it alto? Or
Alto is the lower range.
Yeah, so it's like a lower
register.
alto, and then she'll also like come up and hit you
Yeah.
with like soprano at points, and it's really great. I love
Yeah.
her.
I love a good range.
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury. You want to talk about range? I'm just saying. Wiki it. I'm telling you, this man's range was like unheard of.
This might be cheating, but In Vogue.
Okay, no, I'll give it to you.
Okay, I love listening to them a cappella. Like I like all their
Yeah.
music, but I talk about tight harmony.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. Like what
I
they
agree.
like all four of those girls.
Yeah.
I miss them.
Yeah, I do too. And they tried to come back, but I feel
Yeah.
like it wasn't like.
It was just three of them, and I think we kind of
Yeah.
something producers or writers wasn't right, or
Yeah.
something wasn't right. But yeah, that 90s.
I do love them though, man.
Yeah.
Good call.
When,
I'll give it to you.
Okay, sweet. Like when they redid a couple songs from the Sparkle movie that actually Give It Up, Turn It Loose, giving him something he can feel.
I love that song.
Aretha Franklin
Love
actually has a version of that song,
Yeah.
and that was in the original Sparkle movie.
Oh, okay.
And then the In Vogue redid it. So but yeah, so that's a really
I did not know that.
yes. And I feel like
Movie trivia.
Yeah, I feel like Aretha did it for the movie. The movie was out in like 75.
Okay,
But
yeah.
it doesn't. I don't know. Whatever. So wait, In Vogue, Anita, Whitney, Mahalia. Okay, and Storm Large.
I am not familiar.
Really? She did a remake of the Pixies' "Where's My Mind,"
Okay.
and it is amazing.
Is this a current day singer?
Yeah,
Okay.
current. Amazing. And I think she doesn't have much. She has like one album that's solo, but I think she mostly sings with the band Pink Martini, which is
Okay.
more like a lounge jazz type.
Yeah, that I think I've heard of actually.
Yeah, and she has like a great, right? She's able to do classical and like operatic.
Yeah.
I've heard her do that as well, but she's really good. I think you would
Yeah.
enjoy her.
Well, let's make a deal.
Okay.
If you either point me to an album or make me a playlist,
Okay.
then I will do the same for you of Brandy Carlisle.
Boom.
Okay, we'll do a trade.
Yes. All
Okay.
right. Deal. So I think that was my 5. And I think like honorable mention, I had like Tori Amos.
Yeah.
But because I wasn't sure if it was more of her piano that I'm really
Right.
into it.
That's
or
a
if it's-
tough one.
Or if it's just the emotion that she brings, or
Right.
if it's her actual vocals. So
Right, because I wouldn't necessarily say that she has I mean, she has a beautiful voice, but
Yeah.
like the way she uses it is unique.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I guess I would put her on a list of like the top 5 most unique singers. But I don't know if I would have her on like, my favorite.
Performer.
But, like, yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting choice.
She's definitely
I like that.
And Rachel Yamagata.
Okay, I am
I'll
somewhat
find
familiar.
a way. Yeah. I'm not really that familiar with her, but like there's one album and there's that song that always kind of tears me up. That I'll find a way.
You know enough to know that she's an incredible vocalist.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So so that's it. So yeah,
I think we did pretty well.
I think so, and of course, Whitney was going to be the one.
Not surprising considering when we grew up. And,
exactly.
Yeah.
And speaking of Whitney, did you see that movie?
No, I saw you tweeting about it. I saw you posting. I was like, man, I wish I was on her couch with her right now because I would love to be talking about this.
I know, right? Poor Dan, he really didn't like. He was like, I'm like, you don't. Just do you see what's happening?
You don't appreciate this.
I'm giving you gold, and you don't even get it.
Can I just say, I love the Bodyguard soundtrack.
Oh yeah,
like that. Confession. Okay. It's time for confession.
Okay.
I love corny music. And if my husband listens to this, which I'm sure he will, I'm sure he would be nodding his head right now like, yep, you love corny shit. I love the Bodyguard soundtrack. It's so saturated and like, I have nothing. Like, I mean, oh my gosh. Like that is some over the top shit, right? Melodramatic and like just so like theatrical. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what else I love that's corny?
What?
Chicago, but like the stuff from the 80s.
Love it.
I love it.
Peter Cetera?
Yeah, and I think it's because it's like corny.
The inspiration?
Like, yes, I love that shit.
Yes, that's
unironically.
No, I absolutely love it. And like Glory of Love?
Hell yeah.
And not even
that I think was just Peter Cetera, but like you're the inspiration. Hard to say I'm sorry. Oh my god. I unironically love that shit.
No, that's good stuff.
Not afraid to say it.
And yeah, like there was a group in the 90s, I think, As Yet. It was like they tried to be Boys to Men, like four black dudes spelled A-Z. Yet.
No.
And they did and they did a version of Hard to Say I'm Sorry.
Oh wow.
And it wasn't bad, but what got me was that Peter Cetera rolls in and like comes in like on the end of it, like after all that. At that point, that's when he comes in. We've been through.
Oh my god.
It's like, oh no, you did it. So
seriously though, I have a major soft spot for that. And I think it's because I identify so strongly with the vocals, with melodies, you know, and those songs have like, they just have melodies that like suck you in. Like I know they're cheesy.
Oh yeah.
But melodically, like singing along with that shit. Oh my god.
Oh, it's good times. Like what other cheesy?
Oh man, I can't even.
I feel like
if you look through my Spotify, oh my gosh, it's probably really embarrassing. Like I can't even imagine what I have in there.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up and find out like what.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring up my Spotify because I'm sure that it is outrageously embarrassing. Like what do I have? I love ABBA. I mean it's pretty corny.
No, I dig ABBA.
I know you do.
When
but it's
Dancing Queen comes on,
corny, like
I'm embarrassed when Dancing Queen comes on. Like when there's somebody else like you're not familiar with, you want to turn it off, but then you're like, no, I can't because it's going to get to my part.
Yep.
Because I really love the "You Can Dance."
Yeah.
And I feel, and I always do this.
Love ABBA.
The pseudo tambourine move.
Yes. Yeah, I love it. Man, what else? I'm looking through my Spotify right now just to see, like, what else do I have that's embarrassing like that? I probably avoid putting that stuff on here so that I don't get embarrassed about it. But I know I do have some stuff.
Maroon 5, like their first CD, I really liked.
Yeah, Maroon 5 is kind of weird. Like, this is going to sound really like judgy, but I feel like, and I love Adam Levine. I like looking at him and I enjoy listening to him. But I felt like when they came out, I just felt like he specifically was like trying to be Justin Timberlake, but he wasn't really as good as Justin Timberlake.
Really?
Yeah. So I kind of felt like, I don't know, I guess I just sort of felt like I knew what he was going for and he wasn't quite
wasn't
getting
hitting the
there.
mark.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that sounds bitchy. I don't know. He's famous and I'm not, so I guess he wins. Are you familiar with the Papini sisters, by the way?
Yes.
I love them. I'm looking through my Spotify and I came on that. I don't consider them a guilty pleasure. I just consider them straight up pleasure.
Yeah, no.
So
they're top notch. I enjoy them.
I found a good one.
Okay.
Richard Marx. Richard Marx. Come on.
Yeah.
Totally corny.
Yeah.
But who doesn't love singing along with him?
Right. No,
Like,
it happens.
I would put him in the same category as Kenny Loggins.
Yeah. I totally see that.
Same vein, for sure.
And that's also like I always forget like how many Kenny Loggins songs I know and do like.
Yeah.
'Cause, like I don't own any Kenny Loggins, but when that shit comes on the radio,
Oh,
I'm like
yeah.
all over it. It's
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, excellent.
I have a playlist of his hits. It's called Rockin' Loggins. If you would like to follow it, it's got all the good shit on it. All the stuff that if you hear it on the radio, you know you're gonna sing along.
Rockin' Loggins. All right. All right, then cool. Well, I think we may have come to the end of our hour.
Oh, well, it was fun while it lasted.
Yes, it was. Most definitely. Where can we find out more about Addi Twigg?
AddiTwigg.com.
Find out all the stuff you're doing.
Yeah, I have links to all my music pages and everything, and I try to keep it updated with upcoming events. It's got like a link to the Swan Day stuff. Photo Joe and the Negatives does have a gig coming up in like May or June or something. It's a ways away. It's there's a thing called it's either Yins Fest or Yinzer Fest. I forget which one. It's like a punk rock festival, I guess. But so there's a link to that on there. I'm on Twitter as Addiful, ADDIFUL.
You know, for someone who enjoys puns so much, like your name lends to puns so wonderfully.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of stuff was taken on Twitter though. Like, and I don't want to have like numbers in my.
Right.
That's for amateurs.
Oh yeah, no. Joe, 37.
Yeah.
No. I was jacked up because somebody had Rugged Angel.
Oh yeah,
So
I'm not surprised.
I had to go with the underscore.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh
no.
yeah, no. I now that you say that, I'm like, oh yeah. Annoying. Who does people think they are?
Bitches. That's who.
Unacceptable.
So AddiTwigg.com.
AddiTwigg.com.
That's all your info,
yeah.
and Addiful on Twitter.
Yeah, and I am on Facebook, but I don't tend to like friend people unless
That you
they
don't know.
know me. But my bands are all on Facebook. So,
Okay, so by per name?
telephone line, you can actually find all of our stuff. Really, the core is like Teleline PGH, TELELINE PGH.
Okay.
Photo Joe and the Negatives. I mean, if you Google that, you probably would find us. Camellia Road, CAMELIA Road. I actually just created a Facebook for that, so we have really? 6 fans.
Excellent.
Yeah, I was like,
Go
it's
like
probably
it.
time.
Go like it.
Yeah, Camellia Road Music on Facebook. But go to my website because that really is where you're going to find links to all my stuff.
Excellent.
Yeah, and samples. Because I write jingles and I do stuff like that. I do all kinds of fun little projects like that. So you can find links to all my random shit on there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the most talented, most delightful Miss Addi Twigg.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank
I had
you
a
for
great
stopping
time.
by. So did I. It was fun. And I'm glad to know that we both share Chicago.
Yes.
We'll always have Chicago.
I should make a playlist of that. On Spotify, yeah.
I'm all.
Now that I think about it,
I have so many playlists on Spotify. It's almost ridiculous.
If I make it, I'll share it.
Okay. This has been a Rugged Angel production.